Okay. Welcome to attempt number 2, which hopefully goes farther than attempt number 1. So, full Fizzblock Great Shield. That's one of the things I look for right away. Got some pretty interesting fashion. It's probably a usable weapon, although I think it's not particularly good. It doesn't have fire damage on it for some reason. That's a bleed weapon in the offhand, I think. Double Rot Spear, very tempting. Nothing tempting about that. I think that's one of the shields that's non-full Fizzblock. That's a great shield. I don't really want to get stuck using a dagger either. What are our spells? Ambush Shard and Glintstone Stars. Not familiar enough with spells to know if that's particularly great. Hammer. Blood Flame Blade. And Inescapable Frenzy. Decent bow. Kind of a clunky weapon. Really clunky weapon, but that's a good shield. Oh, we have spells here. Magic Downpour. Okay. Magma Breath, Black Flame Ritual. And this can get, I think, to S scaling in Arcane. But it's between Vagabond and Warrior for me. 1, 2. I'm gonna pick the better shield. And just hope I can find a better weapon early on. I can tell by my run that I'm fat rolling. Oh, you know, this is actually a pretty decent weapon, this Spiked Blood. Maybe I'll just use that. I'm down to medium roll. Yeah. Why not? Let's verify this is a full Fizzblock shield. It is 60, 66, 54, 65. No skill. Okay. Alright. Elden Beast. It's a Godskin Apostle. Who's the third boss? Oh. Where's number 3? There's only 2 health bars. Oh, there we go. Crafted Champion? Who's Champion? Oh, this dude. Okay. Well, how was that? So if you're curious, if you're thinking, hey, hardcore run, is this clickbait? You just died. Well, you know, you have to die at the beginning of Elden Ring. If I beat that spot, those bosses, I have to hop off a cliff. Game says you died. I actually kind of prefer dying to the bosses most of the time because it's the only way that the game does not say you died. It feels the most pure. Ooh. Okay. Not enough to... And this thing doesn't even have like a special Ash of War. It's just got kick. It doesn't do fire damage. It doesn't have a special Ash of War. It just looks neat. I guess that means it's probably infusable though, right? You ever wondering what the deal is with this gold beam here? This is always the same. Small golden effigy. And I usually grab it because it puts that orange beam on every one of those little like America Radagon statue stake things, whatever they are. So all throughout the world I'll get baited by an orange beam and think I have a cool item just to find out. No, it's nothing. If I grab it early, I don't have to deal with that. The Tree Sentinel replacement is 2 of those bug dudes and 1 Mariner, which actually seems kind of doable. It's the backstab thing, right? Yeah. That's like a PvP talisman, I think. Much worse than attempt 1 overall, but Elden Stars. It's cool. Sucks, but it's cool. Yeah, this is so much worse. That's fine. I got kind of beamed by an Estelle husk. It's you know, easy come, easy go. Check this item. It's all white beam. Blue gold kite shield. Very boring. There's a ball. I've done a run that's all balls. I multiplied every enemy by 5 and made them all that ball. That's pretty cool. They friendly fire. So for the most part, it was just running around and collecting free runes. But there were a few parts of the game that were borderline impossible because it was just a traffic jam. Didn't crash too much, that run. I was actually able to complete that. Gotta pay attention to this dude. Yeah, that probably one-shots me. It depends on which part of the underground he's from. And if he's gonna run up to the cliff and shoot again. Man, this guy is aggressive. Let's see how much stamina damage I take for blocking. Decent little chunk for a great shield. He might one-shot me. For now, the safest assumption is basically everything is going to one-shot me. If I'm not certain that it won't, best to assume it will. Play accordingly. Get the most runs off the ground that way. Just a good mindset. The hard part about having to come down here instead of staying up in that area is that you have to run through this. These two enemies could be dangerous. Looks like it was a penguin and an eagle, so not dangerous this time. See a black flame monk guarding that chest, so that's rough. Looks like a lame Del Knight up there, so not a kindred rod. When it comes to Stormgate, I just look for powerful ranged abilities with some tracking on them, or really high projectile speed. Is that Horlo? Horlu. By that little campfire over there. What about what about there? Who's that?
It will summon a spectral steed. Torrent, treat him with respect.
I hope it isn't. Let's go grab our bell. Actually, I think Horlu would have aggroed. Guy's aggro range is kind of insane. Magic shrouding cracked here. I don't really use the physic or buff items. I might at some point, but typically I don't really use those, so I kind of don't care. I'd honestly rather she give me a summon. Just something to use. Oh, yeah. I like to make it noon too. Better visibility and no nighttime only bosses. Keeps the enemy density a little lower. It's good for me. Good for my chances. Okay, so it is like a Lanedale guy. Crab, bird. Nice greed for this item. Veteran's helm, okay. We have a crab. So if this was a lobster, I'd be turning around. But since it's a crab, I think I can just... yeah, just chill right by him. Crabs in this game don't have ranged attacks that move all that fast. Unlike Dark Souls 3's crabs. They pretty much gave the lobster enemies... oh, okay. Okay. Great stars. Okay. So, great stars can finish a run. It's a pretty boring item. But it's health on hit. And bleed. And not all that heavy. And pretty decent damage. So... yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Looks like we found our weapon for the run. Grovel for mercy. I forgot I randomized those. 5 ballista bolts. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, I randomized all these. Check that out. Grovel for Mercy. That's pretty funny. I don't think I've ever seen this one used. It's from patches, right? Nice. Stormy out. I'm gonna check what these little bead worm guys give. They're guaranteed item drops, but almost never anything particularly good. Yeah, Sanctuary Stone. I had one seed one time, a long time ago, where they were dropping Golden Rune 11s. And so, ever since then, I like to check. I'm not religious about it, but I like doing it. You never know. Come on. I absolutely despise how difficult it is to collect items on horseback around these. All that for Starlight Shards. This guy will one-shot me with a projectile that has tracking on it. I really want to get that blue beam in front of him, but it's not worth the run. So I'll have to come back and remember that those graves are not cleared. They are not done. This spot's really dangerous. There are a lot of enemies in these woods. I have had fire giants sneak up on me in these trees before, trying to talk to Liam Neeson here. Bernal? Is that his name? Is this Bernal? Fashion. Bell? This is good. This is a reliable projectile option. Good to have one of those. I think I have a bow though, right? Yeah. No. No. That was last run. Okay, so no bow. Yeah. Oh, shut up, dude. I hate how much you're stuck in NPC dialogue in this game. Hate it. Is that enough? Yeah, it is. I kind of want the dragon, Drake, whatever gloves for fashion. Oh, they're 12k. I thought they were 1.2. Yeah, okay. So be it. So there's the option of killing him. I do actually like. I think with this weapon, I'd do it. It's pretty easy, although it has been a minute. So I might eat those words. Nice. So I'll get his bell bearing with all the items he tried to sell me, and what is normally his armor and his, I don't know, something else. Weapon? No. Whatever his normal drops are. So Somber 9 and a gold rune. That's fine. I think this is a non-somber weapon. So, not too stoked about the Somber 9. I'm pretty comfortable just rocking this weapon for the entire playthrough since it got given to me basically right away. You may remember right at the beginning, I was like, okay, we just need to find a decent weapon early on. Definitely did. Hoping this guy doesn't shoot me. Dude guy. There's a dragon. Don't fly too far away. A polite bow, pretty cool. I do this for the item he gives you as appreciation. This time it's a gold rune 6, fine. Never too unhappy about any free runes underneath like tier 5. Under that they start to get pretty low value. Couple of goats. Kestis or Kaestis or Caestis or Cestis or Saestis.
is a custom.
Yeah, that's a weapon I'm not going to be rocking. Potency of throwing pots, shield, Thops, barrier. I should actually grab these, and I like grabbing quest items because you never know what the reward is going to be. Typically I go the low road here. For a second I thought that guy's torch was an item pickup, and I was going to kick myself for all the times I've run past this and not grabbed the free item. But it was a little ghost flame torch. I don't want to have to get off my horse next to this guy, but I do. He ignored me. We're good. This can be a little bit sketchy, but hopefully it'll go smooth. Gonna go check the graves on the left here, and then we're gonna hop back around to the right. And if this guy does his projectile breath scream projectile attack at me, I said projectile twice, I will die. I do not like this. Oh, there's a bird too. I have to block the bird. And I need to get closer to the wall, or the breath attack's gonna kill me. Yeah, this is a later game bird. Can't have that guy yell at me. This is gonna be not the best. Maybe I'll get a bleed. Nice. Okay. Pretty scary enemy. They sort of approach you silently, so glad I noticed him. 20 black key bolts. It's something. There we go, a big one. Black knife Tiche. Okay. I prefer my summons to be dependable archers, not really assassins. Like, that summon's probably not going to be valuable without an upgrade. A bunch of upgrades to make it tanky enough. I might be about to get sniped and lose the run. I would hate to lose this one exactly the same as the last one, just sniped by a random enemy on horseback. I think I'm in the clear. Crab eggs, gold rune, rot grease, prince of death pustule. Gold rune 9. Stone sword key, bewitching branch. Gold rune 8. Gold rune 2. Oslo's pedal whip, that's a neat weapon. Rice mask. Okay, I really like this one. Looks like I can throw it on without fat rolling, so I will. Just like the white hair, I don't know. Okay, we're not going to be kicking Kenneth Height down. The enemies next to him are too scary. This guy aggroed like mad. What? Okay. That was not a one shot. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. If that dude was from the walk up to like whatever Nox city it is, Nokron, Noxtella, whatever, then he would have totally one-shot me. I think that means he must have been the Academy one? I would expect the Academy one to one-shot me right now too, honestly. I'm not exactly in heavy armor, man. Okay. So this is a guaranteed drop as well. The physic is always there. It's always 2 items, and the other item is fully randomized. It happened to give me a physic ingredient this time, but that is pure chance. Oh my god. Please fall to your death. Please survive. Please do not kill me. Am I invincible during this? I mean, I can get pushed into the floor, but I made it. Okay. That was scary. Now we're here, and what do we have? Ugh. Fightable. Big guy is fightable. Crystallian is fightable. This dude, grafted scion fella, very scary. So let's get to round table hold. The nice thing is that fight is going to be worth a very, very large amount of runes.
Forgive me to determine
So if you've never played with a randomizer or you've never played with increasing the number of enemies,
very well at my hand.
at least the way the randomizer handles it is if you double the enemies, you double the runes. So this boss is usually worth 88,000 or something. I've tripled him. He'll be worth like 250,000. So if I can kill him, great. I'm not challenging that while I have to essentially no-hit it though. This is not a no-hit run. It's a no-death run. Okay. This is pretty solid for avoiding getting randomly one-shot. But I only have one talisman slot right now, and I'd rather keep the equip load. Nothing too exciting there. Let's see what gesture we get. Nice hat. Cat ears. Point downwards. No, I like the hat. I want to point downwards. Animalania. Huh. Arrows, but all in limited supply. Alexander's innards, which I guess is a quest item, so I will grab that. Stars of Ruin. Death Lightning. Okay. Nothing too crazy. Nothing particularly game changing. Let's check the rest of the fashion here. Looking good. Looking good, Gideon. Barefoot Gideon. Somebody out there likes that. And Fia.
Greetings. I am
Okay.
Fia.
I don't want to take the health penalty. I think the thing she gives you that you can use to mitigate the health penalty is randomized. Alright, so third church is dangerous. There's a dragon right above it. I'm going to tiptoe out past the Blackblade Kindred replacement. Over to the right, farther down Bestial Sanctum, and see if there happens to be a large enemy that wants to fall to its death. In the past, I have had a dragon spawn down on these like rafters. Once you get close enough to it for it to activate, it just slips off and dies. Not this time. That's okay. So, this doorway is a pretty reliable defense mechanism against a lot of the larger enemies in the game. But this grafted Scion Noble guy can teleport. I think Crystallion will fit right through. That would be almost no problem as far as the Crystallion is concerned. Except I do not know if he is an early game Crystallion or a late game Crystallion, or even as high end as Crystallions can get. I'm not really sure. That could have been the run. So I don't know how afraid of him I need to be, basically. There's a lot of enemies in Elden Ring that get recycled. I want to get this gold seed thing. So when you're doing a randomizer and you're trying not to die, it can be pretty difficult to know what's safe to fight. Because you look at a Clean Rot Knight and you're like, yeah, that's fine. He's just from, you know, Caelid, the swamp. Who cares? It's like a pretty early game enemy. It's like, no, actually, it's a Halig Tree one. And you're doing no damage. And it's going to one-shot you. A lot of enemies like that in this game. Dogs are very scary because there is no reliable way to tell. There are gray dogs from the late game and snow dogs from the early game. I do not know why there were so many enemies here. Oh, it rolled a bunch of duo fights, I think. That looks pretty doable, though. That looks pretty doable. For now, my goal is just to scout these out, see which ones I should be considering taking on earlier on in the game, and checking for major item pickups, which I guess is primarily runes. Seeing if I happen to randomly get a bunch of free runes in my inventory from something slipping off a cliff somewhere, I can use that to get some extra health. There, Magicka. So, you know, slow and steady wins the race. I can't believe the dragon enemies are still aggroed to me. The bridge dragon is still aggroed. I can actually see them walking around up there. Those guys are still aggroed. I don't think so. I don't think so, game. I disagree. I'd like to check the night cavalry replacement here, but I don't really want to make it nighttime at the moment. Worst case scenario, we just take the gray all kill. But hopefully I don't have to do that for early help. One of the tricky things about an Elden Ring randomizer in hardcore is that Elden Ring is really tuned about you putting a lot of points into health. It's designed to have enemies that are capable of one-shotting you through some pretty heavy armor with a lot of points in vigor. I've heard, and this might be old now, but I've heard that the rule of thumb is 40 vigor, but I have been one-shot through 40 vigor in bullgoat armor by enemies in this randomizer in the past. So I don't like 40. I don't even like 50. Not getting one shot is one thing, but if something does 80% of your health and it's ramping up to hit you again, it's a lot of pressure to nail that one roll. And if there's any other enemies around throwing anything at you that can land, it can pretty much spell the run anyway. You didn't get one shot, but you kind of got like one comboed. You got one touched. At least a dragon there. Not sure what the other two enemies are. So I usually shoot for something like 60 if I can. Really depends on how rough the dragon barrel bosses are. You can get yourself a very large amount of runes. Less so if you make them bosses, because bosses can't be frenzied in this game. Golden glowy eyes multiply the amount of runes you get for killing them by 5. So if you leave regular enemies in the boss pool in a randomizer, you can get triple enemies multiplying the runes by 3, and then potential frenzy spawn multiplying it by 5. And as you can imagine, it's a lot of runes. I believe I have received something like 2.4 million runes from the Blackblade Kindred replacement in the past. Part of the reason why not replacing bosses with bosses is significantly easier. Greyall can be a bit easier in a randomizer because running around and killing the minion dragons is, as you can see, not especially difficult if the enemies are easier than dragons. I do have a weapon that could just cheese her. That is Margit or Morgott. I do not know, and I do not want to find out. Stone Sword Key. Star Scourge Heirloom. Dragon Communion Seal. Okay. You know, pretty decent. Pretty decent. Yeah, let's get that seal on. That's not gonna make me fat roll. So now if I do find any incantations, I can cast them. And then what was the other thing I just got? A weapon? No? Oh, talisman. Yeah, raises strength. Eh. I have 2 stone sword keys. I have 3. Okay. Okay. So, The plan is we're gonna kill Grail. No gold Foulfoot. It's not meant to be. No pickle. No picklefoot. Take Grail, turn all that into health. And then I'm gonna head into the Fringe Folk Heroes Grave. What is it called? Stranded Graveyard. Whatever this dungeon is. Fringe Folk Heroes Grave. Yeah, I'm gonna head in there because I'm very familiar with a previous version of the randomizer where the starting gifts were not randomized. And in that version, I pretty much always took the Stone Sword keys to start out with. I'm very familiar with manipulating that chariot that's in there. I can use it to clear the whole thing, basically. And it's relatively safe runes. There's also 2 guaranteed items at the top. 1 more if I have a bow. Gonna take a minute. But this is why I was prepared to fast forward. Okay. Ruler's Robe. Not bad. Not bad. Decent start. Guess I will see about upgrading my great stars here too. Before I get back into a dangerous area. Is it indeed standard? Yes. I just don't have enough runes. Should be able to get it then. Maybe up to +3 even. Not feeling too confident in that. I can. Okay. Nice. +3. Not too shabby. So, the game crashed. Uh-oh. That's a bad sign. Are we +3? Okay. So I'm gonna go to the first... I'm gonna go to the Stranded Graveyard. Did we make it? Okay, we made it. It goes sometimes in a randomizer, especially when you multiply the enemies. Just makes the game less stable. A blue beam it is. Okay. Here we go. Fang, Graven, School, Talisman. Let's see what enemies we have in here on our left. Nothing too dangerous. I think that's a later game soldier, but they're about to get clobbered by the thing, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure what this guy's called, but I call him a chariot. It reminds me of the Dark Souls 2 chariot boss. Flight Pinion. Or Pinion. Afraid I don't know. That was a risk I should really not have taken. There are Misbegotten in the Halo Tree that will one-shot even through 38. Even through 38. Through 38 with heavy armor on. 38 is... You know, it's safer than nothing, but it is not safe. actually came right up behind me. That was pretty good RNG. Sometimes he dances around there for a bit. Alright, I'm seeing plenty of dead. What do we have in here? This is good. So you're probably picking up on why I like it in here if you haven't already intuited that. These are essentially free runes. Cost us time. A little bit of a dance with the chariot, but I'm familiar with them. We go way back. Oh man, that's such a brutal place for this to be the enemy that's here. Should be okay. I think I can just... Yeah. I don't like whatever that is. Let's not do that. Bigger, scarier cousins of those enemies will shoot poison at you when they do that. Okay. Well. Those are both kind of duds, but we cleared them. There's a concept in a randomizer of a check, which is basically just means like checking an item location. People call those checks. So just performing checks. Here I listen for the chariot and look at these steps. The chariot hits the corner and starts turning before I hit those steps, then I'm safe to get into here just barely, which I usually use to let the chariot kill any aggressive enemies that are in the other cubby. This guy is so aggressive he made it across. So we're going to try the candle trick. If I'm allowed to. Okay, he's a Liurnia guy. He's not too dangerous. We're fine. So most of the interactions with the chariot are pretty tightly scripted. There's a little bit of RNG and a little bit of wonky programming on him. But for the most part, he's manipulatable in ways that make a lot of sense. He seems to try to stay as close to you as he can get. For some reason, if you stand on this candle, he'll actually leave you. You have to give him some time to figure it out, and the placement is really imprecise. I'm really not sure if this is intended as a result. It's so weird. You'll see he's just going back and forth, and then one of these times, he won't. He won't go back up. He'll turn left here, like that. Now he might turn around. Let's turn back around. So he's just going to pace back and forth until he decides eventually to go all the way down. Not yet. Just listen for the timing on a turn. Not yet. There he goes. So now he's going all the way down. He never goes up there. He goes down. I like to use him to clear all that out too. Still something in here, right? He's a frenzy guy. Very, very, very dangerous enemies, these yellow-eyed ones. I'm gonna try to sneak in a free swing here. Okay, it's an earlier game one, but getting frenzied is almost certain death. So this, I think, is a guaranteed chariot manipulation. I mean, intended chariot manipulation. Nothing's really guaranteed with this guy. Sometimes he'll ignore this, but he should be coming over me now. Nice, first try. Sometimes he'll back and forth there for a while. You just turn around at the midpoint of that high ground, which means he's actually coming back pretty quick. But I've got plenty of time to make it all the way to the bottom. Very, very safely. Now that the enemies are all cleared out, you see he's still going back and forth in the previous area. Time to check the boss. Moog, a Crystallian, and something else. Not on a +3 with 38 vigor and light armor. Nah. I can't quite see the other thing. So to full clear this place, outside of beating that boss, requires a reliable, dependable, ranged something. In my experience, bow and crossbow, great bow. It's really the only way to do this consistently. I'm sure there's some spells that can trigger this totem. It's a little dangerous, but we're safe. He's probably going back up, actually. Yep. I have to let him go back up again. I'm gonna try to tempt him with the candle, but it's so inconsistent. I'm just gonna follow him up, take the roll. This feels a little tight, but because of how they behave, it's not really dangerous. These two enemies, on the other hand, these two could be dangerous. I don't really want to swing at them and find out that they're late game, and that I've done basically nowhere near enough poise damage, and then they turn and one-shot me. It's just not worth it in a hardcore run. So, I think I will leave. I'm just gonna go talk about the totem and showcase it a bit, but it's not safe. Let's find out who Margit is, and if we can get to him. That's so bad. That's a really bad place to have him be. I'm probably not getting that scarab now. Okay, boss music, so I've aggroed something big. Big as in the size of its threat, not necessarily the size of the body. It could be a black knife assassin. Looks like it's a gladiator. It's a pretty easy enemy. I'll fight him. It's from the early game, right? Oh, no, he is not an early game one. Just gonna reset him. That is not an early game gladiator. Here we go. Who are you, Margit? Somebody that is instantly trying to throw a spell at me that I'm not gonna get stuck trying to block. Blackblade Kindred or Gargoyle? Gold free, which is very easy. Something else. I don't know what the third thing was. Okay, okay. Cruising along. I want to check some shops. Actually, what do I really even need from shops at the moment? Not much. Torches would be nice so I can check some of the caves. Health regen talisman could be nice. It's nighttime, right? Let's see who the cavalry is. What 3 bosses the cavalry is. Morgott, Godskin Apostle, and a black knife assassin. That's pretty brutal. The black knife assassin could be from the early game. Those other 2 guys are like mid to late. This is going to be an easier fight, I think. Leonine is free. The perfumer should be pretty easy. That gladiator might be early game, and this Erdtree guy might be early game too. Although it looks rotten, so I don't think he can be. There's also a bunch of jars here for some reason. I do not know why. Do I have a summon yet? A distraction I can use? I have TJ, but I do not have the FP for TJ. That should be fine. Flying Avatar, Flying Duelist, Flying Mystery. Why are there so many jars in a perfumer? Oh, that was a little closer to me hopping off a cliff than I thought. I don't want to fight Leonine while thinking about the projectiles. I'd really like to get these guys a little more one at a time if I can. This is it though, you triple the bosses, you get triple the bosses, you know? go. This is good now. Am I safe? Didn't like that. Leonine came back. Couldn't I just interest you in an honorable duel? Yeah, Rod and Avatar. No kick. Don't worry about the kick. These guys actually don't do much in the way of like the really bad, the really egregious Elden Ring delay. Oh god. Am I rotted? No. I don't know if his weapon applies rot. Nice how far this stuff shot. Up here, anything that's gonna shoot a bow at me? Probably not. Oh, that didn't hit him, huh? Get 2 swings here. Trying to find out what kind of damage I get out of a bleed proc. Oh, does that actually only shoot out in front of him? Ow. Might just die to this guy. Does he mean to bleed? Oh, I don't think I can take that. Stand in the rock. I mean, I guess he's a tree. Trees aren't exactly known for their blood content. Alright. Time for a resetti. I think I die to another splash. That's brutal, man. He's got a lot of health. Pretty doable fight if my damage is better or if my health is better. But at the moment, no thanks. Oops, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at me. I saw the trail of an arrow. There's a scarab over here. I'm not too familiar with how many enemies are typically around him. Really? Alright. Okay. Let's formulate a plan here. None of my bosses are obviously fightable yet. Okay. Check a free rune farm possibility. There's a chance of just a free rune printer existing in an area just up the road a little ways. As long as we don't get blasted by that dude, should make it. Over to 9, sure. Nothing too crazy here. I like to use both of these jumps. So, NPC summons are randomized. I really don't want to get anywhere near that church on horseback, at least not the front of it. I'll get kicked off the horse. and forced into an NPC fight with a mystery NPC who can absolutely be like an in-game spell spammy kind of guy that'll just obliterate me. But sticking to the side and back here, safe from the invasion. Using grease, Zamor curved sword, scale armor. Is that right? Okay. Zamor curved sword's cool, but it's no great stars. This looks like the type that is not gonna hop up in the air and breathe fire. Celebrant skull, that's another cool weapon. What is that? Ah, one of those. I'm not even really entirely sure why those exist, what makes them. Well, it looks like we certainly didn't hit a jackpot with our free runes. 4, 8, 8, 4, 117, and 4 more. Yeah. Okay. No luck there. Let's check a couple other spots around here while enemies will just die on their own. See if I can cheese my way into some extra health. And we'll check the nighttime boss. Up on that cliff. What do you mean? Where do I aggro? Celuria, Pumpkinhead, Clean Rot Knight. Where? Who? What boss aggroes to you there? I lost. Say maybe don't come through this place at night ever, and that's the nighttime boss? This guy doesn't take flight, we're fine. I don't want to deal with the ghost wing. Sliver of meat, very cool. Blue beam, briar greaves. I do like those. Pretty nice fashion there. Gonna be tough getting enough equip load to use them without fat rolling, but. Alright, so there's a bunch of bonfires in this area that can oftentimes just kill enemies that spawn near them. You would see the health bars ticking down though, so no luck on this seed for that. Let's have a look-see in this little opening and see if we've got an orange beam. Nope. Let's head over here, see if we got orange beams over here. See you, gargoyle. No. One tall white beam and a bunch of small white beams, sure. Try not to die to a poison breath. Looks like he's not going for it. I'm gonna grab this scarab while I'm here. The game just ate 2 R1 presses right there for some reason. Blade phalanx could be helpful. I do not have a way. I don't have a way to cast sorceries yet. I don't think so. Yeah, no. There's a few free item pickups in this river. Great blade phalanx. Okay. Early game dog. Later game jar. There's a bunch of free items down here. That's pretty interesting. So that was, yeah, that's Glint Blade Phalanx and Great Blade Phalanx back to back, pretty much. No orange beams here, nothing too exciting. Somber 7, that's exciting in vanilla Elden Ring. Alright, up the hill we go. I know what kind of nightmarish creatures are out here. Very chill. Very chill. Very unusual for that to be so easy.
What has been and how can I?
Staring at this dude.
Have a safe journey.
Can't lock onto him because I'm trapped in dialogue. Infinite serpent arrows and infinite bird bolts. Fair bit of smithing stones as well. I need 3 of those and I need 3 of these. I don't have a bow yet.
Have a safe.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Let's find out which 3 bosses have ended up here. Surely they're gonna be reasonably fightable. Right? Yeah. Is that Placidusax O'Neill and the giant worm face? Okay. Well, the saga continues on trying to find a reasonable boss. Clean Rod Knights. Let's see. Is it time to check this merchant? It's so dangerous. I'm gonna check the merchant on the beach. Oh, this might crash the game. I made it. Nice. That was almost a whoopsie. Still might be a whoopsie depending on how that guy wants to behave. Hate those big demon bird enemies, man. They're so dangerous. No torch, but death root. Infinite boiled crabs. And the ability to cast sorceries. Alright, that could be good. That could be good. Upgrade. I gotta take the death root to Garok too.
Well, I took you for no matter it's out your own.
Nice. +8. And +3 to +8, just like that. Pretty good. Let's see what Garok wants to give me. Smithing stone 3. Isn't that what I needed? One more upgrade. And then I think I'm going to actually challenge this boss. The Black Blade Kindred Replacement Trio.
Well, I took you no matter how you're up.
Runes. That's not going to be enough. I don't have a free, easy source of runes anywhere under the sun, so... Alright. Verify everything's as optimal as I can get it here. Let's get some spells on. If I can get him stuck in a door, I can choose him. Where's magic? God, he's loud. Yeah. I don't know if health regen. I'm gonna keep 3. Here we go. So swiftly fires magic projectiles. That's all I got. Blech. Not enough FP to summon anyone that I've collected, right? I guess I could get these demi-human spirits, but they're just gonna get one shot basically. So here's the deal. Am I gonna be fat rolling with this? Nope. Nice. Somehow. Oh. The noise from that roll got the Crystallian's attention. Come on, man. One at a time would be beautiful. You know, from behind his legs. He does the one where he prances around. That should get him past the legs. Or we're just projectile spamming? I wanted to check if I can put paper on this. I think I can, right? Yeah, this weapon is so good, man. It's funny I still call it papers from Bloodborne. He's still aware of me. That's pure physical damage? There it is. That's the one I needed. Alright, now we're in business. Come get me. Let's do this thing. Don't go over there, dude. Get up onto the stairs. There you go. Come on. Stamina cost pretty low to block that. Makes me think he might be an earlier game guy. The Revenant is the one I'm really scared of here. I'm expecting this guy can fit through the doorway. Let's find out. Come here, man. Yes. Good. Just make sure damaging him doesn't aggro his friends. These guys are very backstab spammable. Maybe not when you're pinned against the staircase, huh? It's not really a staircase. Alright. I'm 3rd down. Did take some damage. That's okay. Next thing we're gonna try is just getting this guy's attention without getting the Revenant. Looks like it worked. Now he should be the freest of the trio because I don't think he gets through this doorway. I should be able to just pick at him until he staggers pretty much. Should be able to block everything that he does. Yeah, that was big damage. This guy's like early game. Good. Oops. Tried to jump attack there. Did not press attack. Yeah, he might even die. Oh. And stuck outside is less than ideal. The other guy aggroed. Could have been bad. Alright. Now for the big one. Don't believe these guys are particularly backstabbable. And this is where I wish I had like pestilent mist or poison gas or whatever. Drop some rot on this just in case becomes relevant. May as well buff up. Grab some of those. I'm going with this. Here we go. Yeah, that did not do impressive damage. Can you get in? No. However, this enemy has a teleport. Is he in? Yes. That's what I'm afraid of right there. You're wondering why I'm respecting this enemy? That's why. That's going to be pretty consistently difficult for me to ever evade. My non-on-hit healing used up. Pretty great. They're just so spammy and it's really hard to tell what they're doing. They just teleported in place. I don't like that. Breaks my lock on. Forces me to have to turn around. Yeah, this is rough, man. Poison from behind me. Seeing firsthand now why access to health regen is so valuable. Sometimes you have to fight dudes like this. I am getting a little bit of health on hit per swing. I see this weapon actually being really awesome. Big slam. Looks like I can safely get a jump attack after that. It's good. I think the grab is safe too. Oh. Okay. That's unfortunate. The doorway giveth and the doorway taketh away. Oh, it's got an extra thing after the grab. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Frenzy. Flail all those limbs. That looked like a finisher to me. Give me the rapid flails. 1, 2, 3. I think you can only go up to 3 there. Got him. There you go. Blackblade Kindred replacement. Dead. 270,000 runes. And a bell bearing. So we're gonna go turn in the bell bearing right away. This guy is now a vendor who sells 2 items. Since I gave Gronk thing, I'm not doing that. He was pretty merciful on the teleports. He could have really spammed those. Thankfully, didn't. Bernal with my glove fashion. Kelmir's Fury. There's our Elden Stars. A Howl of Shabriri, which I'm not putting on because I think that's self-frenzies. You have to be careful. Just checking for regular smithing stones again here. What's in your base shop now? I mean, this might be worth hitting some people with from time to time. A bow would be better. If I could just be given a bow. But, you know, it's a randomizer.
Well, I took you for no matter. Lay out your arm.
Honestly, I took me for dead too, dude. Plus 12. Magic number. There is a good Ash of War I could see about acquiring for this. The Wild Strikes one, where you just swing over and over. You do heal every hit that you do that. So for this weapon, it can be pretty nice. I'm pretty comfortable relying on the bleed health on hit for this. I'm not going to worry too much about scaling damage yet. Could maybe get some points into arcane to make it bleed more. Does it have arcane scaling? No, so that won't do anything. Just strength and dex. That's fine. Okay, okay. Decently intimidating encounter taken care of. Now, Morgott, I could almost certainly get to fall off the cliff here. I think I'm just gonna go around, check these vendors, and see who the dragon boss is. If it's nighttime, find out who the cavalry is, too. I think that's just the next step. Oh, look, see those health bars? What that means is that the little bonfire on the ground actually displaced these guys too far. It knocked them out of the fire. Enemies that don't get knocked aside like that will sit in there and get tickled to death by the bonfire. Which is basically never worth the amount of time it takes. I think the most runes I've ever seen from that is like 3k, and it's like 3k every several minutes. Whereas the spot up over on the horizon over there, where there's just a couple enemies that spawn on the tree branch and then instantly fall to their death, that, if that's a decent amount of runes, is amazing. You just reset it by sitting down, stand up, they fall off. By the time you sit back down, they've died, so you can just spam on cooldown. There's no delay. Hopefully Radon does not start trying to shoot at me. Oh, he's aggroed. He's aggroed. That movement is the combat movement. Oh, and that's a Marias whatever. Briar Knight. Guy that uses the force to spin his red lightsaber around. I don't want to deal with that either. Check this. This here feller. 1, 2. Nice. That's good damage, man. Plus 12. Spinning weapon, which might actually work on this. If spinning weapon works, that'd be kinda... that could be really good. This guy's almost always mostly arrows. I will take a smithing stone 4. That's the tier I'm at. I do need that. Oh. Okay, well, found Estelle. There are 2 Estelles in the game. So we only found 1. I'm not counting all the husk versions, of which I think there's also 2 of. Maybe it's supposed to be like a projection of his. I'm not sure. Well, his. Didn't necessarily need to imply there's some kind of gender on the Eldritch Constellation Beetle Skull Lovecraft monster boss. He just feels more masculine to me, you know? Feels like a dude. These lightning orbs are extremely dangerous. I don't see an orange beam. I'm not going. All those white beams could be smithing stone 4s though. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I just need to aggro him. And let him expire himself. There he goes. Alright, he's gone now. Everything here should be very fightable now. Let's just start with whatever gets to me first. He will simply bounce off. Posted and killed. This could be an end game bat. Never know. I can tell you he's not, because he died in one hit pretty much. This guy might be late game. But these are very easy enemies when you have a great shield. Because one hit basically always bounces off your shield and puts them in the repose state. Basically always. Am I dead? Did I throw? Not quite. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, hang on. Hang on, everybody. Let's everybody just chill out for a moment. I don't need one of those holy albinarics taking me out. I just don't need that. Let's go grab this. Hey, there's a dragonkin right next to the Dragon Communion Church. The lore. A bit of help for hitting those two. Get this here blue beam. Pretty useless, but I guess it's better than a note. I'm about as likely to use it as I am to use a note, so not really. Do I have any hearts? No. Serpent's Amnion, Kristoff, Axe of Godric, Twin Blade, Finger Severer, Cragblade. I do not like Kristoff, so. Not sure why I got my fossils back. I didn't sit down, did I? Supposed to. Yeah, no, okay, we're good. And that is like no range on it. Can you tell I don't really use spells typically? That's one of the starting ones, right? No, it says Swift. That doesn't sound right. Ooh. Not too comfortable with magic, huh? Charge R2. Missed. He hit me. Why am I doing that? Just hold block. He missed. I missed. I'm mad. I'm mad, dude. I'm about to get hit by a golden ring from an Albinaric, and it's going to be so frustrating if that kills me. He kept missing me. I was pressing R2 to do the little guard counter, and he just kept missing. That's that.